Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the 9th Adhyay of Rajavidya, Rajaguhya Yoga, and Shri Krishna is sharing with us that supreme knowledge and the supreme secret, the Rajavidya, supreme science in fact, and the supreme secret of getting to know what is the reality and thereby attaining the realization and a way to get rid of this cycle of repeated births and deaths and get into nirvana, get into the liberation. Now, Shri Krishna in the 10th shloka that we read last, in fact the 11th shloka that we read last, Shri Krishna told us about the type of ignorant people who don't realize the divinity in the incarnation. And forget about incarnation, they have scant respect for the divinity within other human beings as well. They consider the human forms as just the physical form, material forms, not heeding the great divinity which is dwelling inside those physical and material forms. Physical and material forms are temporary, they are phenomenal. They are ephemeral. They are going to go sometime. They are going to fade away. They are going to get destroyed, the physical forms. But the divinity within, that is ever going to remain. It is going to come in different human forms till in different forms, till it attains that ultimate objective of liberation. And this is, unfortunately, Sri Krishna says that the ignorant ones, they fail to understand. And since they fail to understand the real nature of this entity dwelling in, that they don't realize that this entity, this thing which is there dwelling inside is the Bhuta Maheshwaram. It is the ultimate God, ultimate Lord of all these beings that is dwelling inside. They don't pay any respect. So, Shri Krishna has told us in the 11th shloka that avajananti mam mudha manushim tanum ashritam. That manushim tanum ashritam, having taken this human form, they consider this itself as the everything that is existing. And knowing that, not understanding the principle behind this human form, they disrespect me. Avajananti mam. And who is disrespecting? Mudha. And why disrespecting? Manushim tanum ashritam. Just because me as the Akshaya principle, the imperishable, the indivisible, having taken this human form, they have no respect for me. Param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. But they don't understand the reality that I am the supreme being of all this creation who is dwelling in this human form. So that is Shri Krishna's complaint, and he again further emphasizes this point. He explains it, the way these ignorant ones, they behave with their demonic tendencies. So Shri Krishna in the 12th chapter, he is explaining to us that why, who are these people, that they do not understand the divinity in the incarnations, the divinity in the dwellers of these human bodies. So Shri Krishna says, moghāśhā mogha-karmāṇo mogha-jñānā vichetasaḥ rākṣhasīm āsurīṁ chaiva prakṛitiṁ mohinīṁ śhritāḥ. Moghāśhā, vain hopes. Asha is hope. Mogha is vain. Vain hopes. Mogha-karmāṇa, vain works, vain acts, vain activities. And mogha-jñānā, vain knowledge. All foolish understanding. No hopes. Even if they have hopes, those are vain hopes. Nothing based on reality. Mogha-āśhā, mogha-karma. They might be doing, but it is all vain. There is no substance in the activities, in the works that they are performing. Mogha-karmāṇa. Mogha-jñānā vichetasaḥ. Mogha-jñānā again, it is a vain knowledge. Vichetasaḥ is senseless. Vichetasaḥ. Chetana is sense. The faculty of discrimination, of analyzing what is right, what is wrong. So that faculty not being there at all, vichetasaḥ, senseless. What happens, what Shri Krishna is telling about such people? That rākṣhasīm, āsurīṁ chaiva prakṛitiṁ mohinīṁ śhritāḥ. These very people, they are the embodiments of Rakshasas and the Rakshasa and the Asura nature. Rakṣhasīm means the nature of Rakshasas, devilish. Āsurīṁ is the nature of Asuras, undivine, demonic. So the devils and the demons, natures of those, which is prakṛitiṁ mohinīṁ śhritāḥ. Verily, of the delusive nature of these kind of people, of these kind of Rakshasas and Asuras. This is what these people, ignorant, those who don't understand the divinity within the incarnations, they are like the demonic people. Of vain hopes, of vain actions, of vain knowledge, devoid of discrimination, senseless, vichetasaḥ, partaking verily of the delusive nature of Rakshasas and Asuras. They are verily the demonic people who don't understand, who don't realize, who don't accept the divinity dwelling within the human forms. Just because it is a human form, they consider all those human forms also to be like them, just having, these 9 openings and these the organs of action, organs of sense pleasures, sense organs, and the organs of action, that somebody is like this. But they fail to realize, they fail to take a note, they fail to recognize the divinity that is dwelling within that human form. Mohini Prakriti is the delusive nature which makes men believe that our bodily existence is the be-all and end-all of life. There are some people who just don't, even look at the path of spirituality. For them, These bodily pleasures, the bodily functions is the be all and end all. That is the whole and soul for them. Just living the human lives like animals. Eat, sleeps and make merry. That is their objective of life. Just go on enjoying the worldly life. In return, they get lots of pains, they get lots of sorrows, they get lots of miseries, they get lots of unhappiness. But they don't realize that you can never have only the goodies in this life. In this physical world, in this materialistic world, there is no one-way traffic of enjoyment. With every enjoyment, the negative part of sorrows and miseries is also attached. That is the other side of the same coin. You cannot take only the enjoyment part. You have to accept the sorrows and miseries also. So for such people, Mohini Prakriti, the delusive nature of the great Mahamaya, that keeps us bound, that keeps us veiled from getting to know what is real, what is unreal. And the moment that sense of discrimination is lost, we are at the mercy of our own misfortune. The transitoriness of the mundane existence does not occur to these people, to such people who have no respect for the divinity. For them, it is the transitoriness of this mundane existence. They don't realize one day this is going to go. How long can I keep on enjoying a sweet? Maybe few minutes. That's all. That transitoriness, that temporariness, that ephemeral existence of that pleasure, that they are never going to realize. It doesn't occur to them at all. Sense indulgence is the one thing that appeals to them. For them, enjoyment is the only thing. Now, what that enjoyment brings with it, that is immaterial for them. Their hopes, activities and understanding are all directed to this one end. Their hopes are in enjoyment. Their actions in enjoyment. Their knowledge how to enjoy a thing. That only to that limited extent, all these three functions of their life, they are fixed. They are focused on. And therefore Shri Krishna says, these are all vain. Moghāśhā, mogha-karmāṇo, mogha-jñānā. They don't have any depth inside. It is just vain, superficial. It is going to go one day. They are not going to retain that hope. They are not going to retain those karmas, the good aspect of the karma. They are not going to retain with them. They are not going to retain the benefits of that knowledge that one gets on realization. They are not going to have, because whatever they have is all in vain. It is impossible for them to discern between the real and the unreal, because there is no faculty of discrimination, vichetasaḥ. Among the main of this base make up Rakshasas. Now Rakshasas, typically their Rakshasa as a word is derived from Raja. That is the Rajoguna. Among the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. The Rakshasas are dominant with the Rajoguna. And that's why you see, these people, they will have so much of show off. I am doing this, I am doing this. But these are all vain actions. Even their attaining knowledge is of no use. It is just vain. They are not going in depth. It is just a show off. That Rajasic nature is 100% predominant in the Rakshasas. What about the Asuras? They are filled with tamas. So among the three gunas, these Rakshasas, they dominate in Rajas. Asuras, they dominate in tamas. Tamas is Asura. Rajas is Rakshasa. So, these two gunas having predominant, they never allow the veil of this Mahamaya, this Mohini Prakriti. They don't allow this veil of delusion to get uplifted at all. And since there is no touch of Sattva Guna to any of these so-called the Rakshasas and Asuras, they're all their entire hopes, their activities, their knowledge is only towards the sense pleasures and the worldly enjoyments. The Rakshasas are predominantly on the worldly enjoyments. They want to enjoy each and everything. And the Asuras, they know only of the sense pleasures. They don't have life beyond these two. They don't have inclination to seek realizations beyond the worldly enjoyments and the sense pleasures. So they get rotted in this particular cycle of ignorance. So this is among the main of this base makeup. Rakshasas are they in whom Rajasic nature predominates, and those others are Asuras in whom Tamasic element predominates. So this is how Shri Krishna has categorically told us about the people, that those types of people who have no respect for divinity dwelling in these human bodies. Forget about the incarnations. They don't have any respect for the incarnations, but they don't have respect for even an ordinary human being also, because they fail to recognize the divinity which is dwelling in the human body. So that is Sri Krishna's biggest complaint that he has expressed before us. He has openly told us in these two shlokas of 11 and 12. So let us be careful, let us beware and not get trapped in this net of Mohini. Mohini is the enchantress form of the Lord, which keeps us deluded with this worldly enjoyments and the sensual pleasures. So let us get away from all this and try to recognize the divinity, whether it is a human form or whether it is a form of any other being. There is a divinity. Any life force that we see, there is a divinity. And in fact, the incarnations say, even if it is non-living, even if it is non-moving, Sachara, Shri Krishna has already told us that in this creation, whatever is moving, whatever is non-moving, it is all created by my will, by that Prakriti. But I am not responsible for that. I don't get involved in that process of creation, sustenance and destruction. So that was Shri Krishna's teaching to us as far as the people with the predominant rajas and predominant tamas of the Rakshasa attitude, of the Asura attitude, and kind of a caution. Don't fall in that trap of being a Rakshasa or being Asura. Don't fall in the trap of the Mohini, of the Mahamaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.